Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech, and this is my final review of the Honor Magic 2, sliding off into the sunset. And I think you know what that means. That means that this is my final video on the Honor Magic 2 right here. I did enjoy this phone in many ways. There were a lot of cool features about it, and trying out the slider for a period of time. But I just felt that the slider, and that was the theme of this phone, the slider mechanism brought way too many compromises to the daily use of the phone. Case in point, one thing I do with my phones generally is wipe them down as the screen gets smudgy, and you see how just the simple act of wiping your screen becomes a complete annoyance on this phone. The slider is not, it adds another layer of complexity, and you'll find yourself sliding this phone around a lot more than you realize. Now, this is not to say that the slider doesn't bring some great positives in the sense of an edge-to-edge display. You see right here, there is a little bit of a chin at the bottom, but overall this is the most edge-to-edge phone you can probably get. But that does host new compromises like a thicker phone, a smaller battery, and one other thing about the design of this phone I didn't like was this kind of back. It was just a fingerprint magnet. I really don't know if I like this kind of glass back style of Honor phones now, and I really appreciate what the Mate 20 series is doing right here. And not talking about the camera on this phone, upon kind of initial review, seemed pretty good overall. But as I kept using this phone more and more, and you see here as I zoom in to this one shot, it's not a bad shot at all, but you see there the detail on the words are just not as good as the Mate 20X. This has a 16 megapixel main shooter versus the 40 megapixel on the Mate 20X. And you see the selfie cam. While it is a good, decent selfie cam, it's behind that slider, and just the simple act of having to slide every single time gets old. It just gets old. And the phone, like really talking about the actual performance of this phone though, that was one of the bright spots. It really did do amazingly well, and the Kirin 980 was a lot of the reason why. But I guess kind of talking about the Kirin 980, that's a chip that's going to be, it's available on the Mate 20 series already and will be available on many more phones. So it's not a distinguishing feature unique to the Honor Magic 2. And so looking at the slider here, I mean, the phone itself, the interface was great, but that slider mechanism, you just find yourself doing it by mistake so much more often than not, and it just, the compromises that you have to make, I feel, are outweighed by the positives of this phone. And so kind of thinking about the future of the smartphones, and in 2019 coming up with those Infinity O displays, with the Honor Nova 4 coming out soon, I just think the slider is a gimmick. Its time is up, and I don't think this is going to be catching on very soon. So I say goodbye, Honor Magic 2. It's been wonderful playing with you. I appreciate you as a phone, but it's time to slide off into the sunset and say goodbye to the slider gimmick. It's just not for me, guys. Thanks for watching this quick video. Like, subscribe, appreciate your support here. And this is where I say, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Slide you later.